Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. We have a lot to talk about today. As you can see in the thumbnail, the title of this talk is Pluto going direct and minor aspects. How minor are they actually? So it's part of my didactic series. What I thought I would do is go through some of the slide deck in the course that's going to be launching in about a week or two, and take you through the minor aspects, and then also talk about Pluto going direct. And we'll compare the day that Pluto, on the day Pluto goes direct, we'll compare the chart with the minor aspects and without, and see if we can get some different energy by exploring some of the minor aspects. Then I will show you some really cool things. I will show you how to work with me and how to get a hold of me. Okay, so let's get started. We'll share screen. And there's a thunderstorm going on outside. It's pretty amazing. It hasn't rained here in, so gosh, twice maybe since April, and it's just rained for the last 3 days. It's pretty incredible. Okay, so what you're going to see is part of one of the modules in level 2 of my interpreting a natal chart. I've recorded these modules, but they're not ready yet. I have just a few more to record and to get it all set up on the website, and then the course will be launched. It's very exciting. So before I get into that, actually, I want to show you what Pluto's doing. So I wanted to know exactly where Pluto was, because I hear a lot of different things, and it actually does depend on where you look. So I typed into, where is Pluto transiting? And the answer that I got was Aquarius. Okay, so it says that it's been was in Capricorn for 15 years, and now it's in Aquarius, and you can get all this amazing, well-written, well-thought-out energy. A lot of people are getting really, really ready for this event, for Pluto to be in Aquarius. So it's super interesting. But then if you actually say, what constellation is Pluto in, you get Sagittarius. Okay. And Sagittarius is a completely different constellation. It's an entire constellation away from Aquarius, because we have Capricorn in between Sagittarius and Aquarius. So I got really confused, and I said, well, wait a minute, let me get out my stargazing app and let's see exactly where Pluto is. And so in Stellarium, I went ahead, stellarium-web.org, and I searched for Pluto, because Pluto is a planetoid, so it doesn't actually show you the planets. Like, it shows you Saturn right here, but it doesn't actually highlight Pluto for you. But here's the crosshairs for Pluto, if you can see those moving. And you back out a little and you can see, wait, Saturn's in Aquarius, not Pluto. Pluto's right here. Pluto's actually in the boundaries of what we call Sagittarius. And next year we'll actually transit into Capricorn. So this is the rub with True Sky Sidereal Astrology. We actually have to find out where luminaries are in the sky, where the energies are actually coming from. Let me show you another example. This is a transit chart from the 20th of November of 2027. And I'm going to get out my pen and I'm going to draw for you, because I want you guys to see where this stuff is. So if we go down here, that is the symbol for Pluto. Pluto is in 0 degrees of Sagittarius on November 20th of 2007. Wait a minute, that was like 16 years ago, right? What's going on here? Let's talk a little bit about these energies and why they're important, because what we're doing here is we're reading mundane astrology. We're reading the collective transits. So Pluto transiting through Sagittarius is a very different energy over the past 15, 16 years than where they're saying Pluto is now. Okay. Let's just look at when Pluto will actually get out of Sagittarius, because that's what's coming for us, you guys. So let's erase all that. And let me show you that Pluto on this chart is actually up here. So look at this. And draw. Okay, so if you look up here, here's Pluto in 0 degrees of Capricorn. And this is going to happen next year. Okay, so let's think back over the last 16, 17 years. What is Sagittarius, first of all? Sagittarius is, for the collective, is a area of the sky that describes our higher learning, our higher knowledge, our religious institutions, our institutions of higher learning, like college, esoteric schools, universities, getting your PhD, getting your doctorate, getting your shamanic license, all these things. Okay, this is what Sagittarius energy is. And I would say that over the last 15, 16, 17 years, indeed, our collective has gone through a tremendous shift in not only perspective, but how higher learning is practiced, how spiritualism is practiced, if we even believe in a higher spiritual existence anymore. All of these things have been coming into question over the last 16 or 17 years. And for me, this feels very accurate. This does not feel like energy that's been going through Aquarius, because Pluto can be nasty. Pluto is tearing things down. And when Pluto starts to go into Capricorn, which is its next constellational sign energy that it's going through, which is our government, which is our striving for our highest ideals, which is our public image, our reputation, things like that. You can already kind of see some Capricorn changes happening. Older structures that are no longer useful are being transformed into something else or being done away with. And that's what's going to be happening during the 10, 11, 12 years that Pluto transits through Capricorn. Okay, so we need to get that point straight right off the bat where Pluto actually is. And this is big. And at the very end, I'm going to show you something else that's really, really cool about Pluto right now and in the next coming years. And then the other thing about Pluto that I wanted to mention before I get into the minor aspects and into the course and the slide deck is that the United States, which became an independent country in 1776, is experiencing its Pluto return next year, which coincides with that cool thing I'm going to show you at the end. So please stay and watch to the end, because I think you're going to find this pretty amazing. Let me get to the slide deck right here. I hate it when it does that. We'll go to the slide deck right here. Okay, so this is other aspects, minor aspects in the starseed Merkaba. This is what this module is about. I'm not going to talk to you about the starseed Merkaba today. If you want to learn about that, you're going to have to get the course, okay? But basically, once we get to this point in the course, we've already talked about the conjunction energy, which is 0 degrees, opposition energy, which is 180 degrees, trine energy, square energy, and sextile energy. So what we get with minor aspects are these funny symbols, and I'm going to tell you what they are shortly. Right here. And right here. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. We'll talk about these minor aspects. You got 5 that I talk about in this course. The first one is the semi-sextile. So the semi-sextile and the quincunx are similar to the sextile, but broken apart. And when you think about a semi-sextile, it's essentially 30 degrees from the other point, and it's 2 different elements working together in a harmonious way. I also talk about this in module 3, in level 3, but I talk about it in a dynamic way. So the semisextile is 2 different elements working harmoniously together. Then you have the semisquare, which is 45 degrees. It's a subtle tension that we tend to ignore. The sesquiquadrate, which is 135 degrees apart. This is a challenge to work and learn. And then the quincunx, which is the bottom part of the sextile, is the inner potential that's difficult to realize. And then there's quintiles, which is talents and potentials. So I thought a really cool example would be to take Pluto going direct, because that's what's getting ready to happen, and show it to you with the major aspects. And we'll talk about those energies. And then we'll talk about it with the minor aspects and the major ones. So here it is without the minor aspects. Here's what it looks like with the minor aspects. So you can see the energies get developed a little bit better. Sometimes they enhance, sometimes they explain why it's not quite on perfect as well. Okay, so let's just look at this. This is October 10th, which is when Pluto stations direct. Here you can see that Pluto is right here in Sagittarius, stationing direct, and the motion of Pluto will be in this direction towards Capricorn. But as I showed you on the previous graphics, not until later next year. But essentially what you have is what we've had this whole year. We've had Pluto T-squaring our collective south node and north node, although right now it's the south node's conjunct Mars and the north node's conjunct Chiron. So we have a little bit of extra energy in this final third pass here. And also in a few days from the 10th is the eclipse. So on 10/14 is the eclipse. I have a couple videos about that too. Please watch those. So earlier in the year, back in January through March-ish, Pluto was direct, T-squaring our collective nodes, taking all of our personal planets through a mystic square as they traveled here through the Gemini Cancer transition. And once they all did that, they hit this mystic square with Pluto and the nodes, and it was a very purifying process. And each one offered a different energy as it T-squared the nodes, or mystic squared the nodes with Pluto. But Pluto is essentially asking us to purify our collective evolutionary process. Now is a decision point. Do we take ourselves towards healing and universal love and oneness with the North Node in Pisces, or do we dwell here in the past in our feminine collective wounds, which is Virgo? But now we have Mars commenting on this and saying, take action to move forward, especially with this eclipse happening. Okay, so we're all familiar with this energy. And this third pass, right before we get that solar eclipse, will be definitely a turning point. This third pass through the T-squaring our nodes is going to feel a lot different. Watch things start to change. Watch things externally start to change as Pluto moves in a direct motion. All the internal work that you've done all summer long with Venus and going retrograde and Mercury retrograde, all this action up here in Leo, external expression that was actually happening on the inside is now moving forward with this Pluto energy. Okay, let's see what else is happening that day. Oh, this is another good one that's been going on for a while, is the Neptune energy sextiling with Pluto. But Neptune's been retrograde, so now Pluto's direct. And the way that I've read this is having Neptune down there in Pisces is like having the power of the sea, the power of a large volume of water. And if any of you have seen huge waves or, been knocked over by a wave surfing, you know that energy is very, very powerful. You have to have a huge respect for it. And you also have to have a huge respect for the regenerative and destructive power of Pluto. Except this time, I feel like we're being asked, we're given an opportunity, which is a sextile, to wield the magic wand of Pluto, to sort of use that water energy to push ourselves towards this collective destiny of universal love and oneness. So Pluto also trines on Uranus, a retrograde Uranus. Now Pluto is going to be direct. And so that metamorphosis of the self, which is that Aries energy, that's also being blessed with this trine energy. And then, okay, so those are the three big, so those are the big ones, okay? The Pluto T-squaring our nodes, and then sextiling on Uranus, and then sextiling on Neptune and trining on Uranus. All of this a few days before the solar eclipse. So let me go ahead and add in the minor aspects that we just talked about and see what kind of energy that gives us. Does that sort of enhance or does it deflect the energy that we're working with? So you have all the energy above that we talked about, this square, this sextile, the T-squaring of the nodes, and then trining on Uranus. And now we have this semi-sextile to the galactic center. Now, remember, this was two elements working harmoniously together, being in the right place at the right time. So it's the element of change, spiritual change, because it's Pluto in creation and ascension energy, which is Ophiuchus in the galactic center. I mean, that's our Milky Way black hole right there. They're working harmoniously for our collective evolution, and it's fire and ether. So fire and ether is very powerful. All right. So that's a minor aspect there. Let's see what else do we have. So Neptune also semi-sextiles the North Node here and here, and then does a quincunx with the South Node and Mars right here. So let me talk first about the semi-sextile to the North Node. Now remember, the magic wand, the magic that I talked about between Pluto and Neptune right now, this minor aspect can actually be huge because Pluto is changing our collective evolution. Pluto is also using the powerful element of water, and now it's got a semi-sextile to the North Node. So using that transformational change, that transformational spiritual change, I love it. It just helps kind of prove to us that this energy is what we think it is. Now, the quincunx to the South Node and Mars, the quincunx, remember, is an inner potential that's difficult to realize. It can also be an inner release or a letting go, especially with a retrograde Neptune, quincunx, the South Node, and Mars. This is a will for the inner self, for that mental letting go of all of those wounds and all of that ancestral trauma that we're working with through Virgo right now. So what does that say about our collective nodes a few days from, the eclipse when Pluto stations direct? All right, so you can see that. So we're letting go there. And then just a couple more I want to mention. So I gotta bring up Venus. I love my Venus. I'm a Venus specialist. So Venus and Moon are conjunct on this day. And in my earlier videos of Venus transits, I talked about aspects of Moon Venus. These can take up a lot of time, so I've kind of left those out. But essentially, as Venus has been transiting through Leo, first direct, then retrograde, now direct again, this is basically her third hit with the Moon in Leo. So, remember, Leo is all about the heart. Leo is its expression, its outward expression of values. And so this is typically an emotional hit to the feels. And sometimes it's good feels and sometimes it's bad feels, but you're going to feel something on this day, okay? And so this could be good or bad. Now, remember, the semisquare is subtle tensions and frustrations that can actually lead to no result. So it actually affirms the feeling that we get with a Venus semisquare the sun here. So you have Venus conjunct Moon, semisquare the sun, which is your outward expressive energy of the divine feminine mother, Sophia. So you might be getting ready for this energy for the eclipse, and then you feel something. And if you act on it, nothing's going to happen. So, if you feel like you've lashed out or overly expressed yourself, don't worry about it that day. You're going to feel it, but it's not going to matter. Okay? So that's interesting. Oh no. Oh wow. I just deleted a whole bunch of stuff off my notes. Oh well, that's okay. I can do it. So, and then the sun sesquiquadrates Saturn. Okay, that's this sign right here. This is a sesquiquadrate. So remember, a sesquiquadrate is a challenge to work and learn, and it's frustrated action that leads to delayed results. Okay, so if you're being very good, very dutiful, trying to do everything you're supposed to do, the sun may offer you a little bit of frustration in your Saturn energy that day. Okay, so isn't that cool? We just added a whole other layer of energy to our Pluto square the nodes, Pluto station direct energy day. All right. So I think that was everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about anyway, but let me just do a couple things with you. Stay tuned till the end because there is something that I want to show you that is really cool about Pluto. Let's see. The best way to reach me is probably through Facebook or email. What you want to do is go ahead and find Dr. Danny, physician astrologer, or Danny Inman on Facebook. You can connect with me there. I also have a Facebook group that I just started, Fellowship of 13 Sign Astrology. I'll leave a link down there if you want. If you want to join this group, this is where I'm going to be posting a lot of my stuff. If you want to learn anything, you can also put comments in here and ask me questions, and I'll do the best that I can to answer you. Also, too, guys, if there's anything else you want me to learn, you want me to teach you so you can learn on these videos for the didactic series, please let me know. Please put it in the comments below. Like if there's a topic that you just can't find enough information on, I'd be happy to research it and think about it for you. This package is still going strong. Dr. Danny, Venus Eclipse, Embrace Your Halo. This meditation is great. You can order this separately for $33. On this meditation, we use binaural beats and we use sound frequencies for love and healing. And once you order it, it's yours forever. You can listen to it as many times as you want. I would definitely recommend headphones. And then this reading right here is a recorded personalized Venus forecast. I am also adding progressed moon energy into these for $144. It'll probably go a little bit into Virgo energy for you because I try to give you guys at least 5 or 6 weeks on these videos when you order them. So check me out there. Also, this is my basic astrology and astronomy course. This is great for beginners. I'll leave a link for this down below as well. And then I promise this is coming another week. You guys will be able to go through the entire slide deck yourself. Okay, let's see. What else? I am going to be doing a live event on Friday the 6th with another Facebook group. Let me see if I can find them. And yeah, here, the Luminary Entrepreneur. If y'all want to join this Facebook, you can be part of this live group. It's an experts panel, and we have a financial spiritual expert. We have healers in there. We have ladies that can help you take your business to the next level. We also have just all kinds of good stuff. There's about 5 or 6 of us, and we each are going to do our little thing, and then you can ask us questions. So come and join this group. That way you can watch the event live, and I'll put a link for that below as well. All right, I promised you one more thing before I let you go. So this is our solar system right now. I want to show you something really cool about Pluto. Y'all recognize our solar system, right? That makes sense to you? So you've got the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. You zoom out, you get Jupiter. You zoom out, you get Saturn. You zoom out some more, you get Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Here is what I wanted to show you about Pluto. Pluto, if you can see this, is above our ecliptic right now, as it's been transiting through Sagittarius. And it looks to me, now I could be wrong, I'm just an amateur astronomer, but when I look at this and I go forward month by month, I see Pluto taking a dive under the ecliptic after a little bit. I don't know exactly what date this is going to happen, but it looks awfully close to Pluto's return for the United States from 1776 to now. So I just thought you guys would enjoy that. Again, you can go to this website and check out all of this. Man, I feel like I was all over the place on this video, you guys. I'm so sorry. But do me a favor, like this video, put in the comments any questions you have, subscribe to my channel, you lurkers, check out the Fellowship of 13 Sign Astrology, and then join the Luminary Entrepreneurs Facebook group to catch me live on Friday afternoon in an experts panel. Okay, so lots of things are happening. I'm so excited. I don't even know if I've told you everything because I deleted half my notes while I was talking to you. But anyway, that's it. Until next time, I love you all. Thank you so much. Namaste.